welcome you back. Thank you for staying with us. This is Daybreak Live on Dominion Television, and it's time for Trend Watch. I'm not the only one. I see I have something Balogun in the studio.
Ever ready.
Ever ready. All right, this particular segment we're looking at Jonathan trapped in Guinea Bissau. He's been caught up in the coup going on in that particular country, and it is a sad one. Let's take a look at a bit of the details this morning. The former president Jonathan is among African leaders who are currently trapped in Guinea Bissau following a coup d'etat in the country. He's one of the 36 high-profile observers on the joint mission of the African Union, the Economic Community of West African States (ECOWAS), and the West African Elders Forum, who are in Guinea-Bissau to monitor the presidential election held on Sunday. Imagine someone that was there to monitor the election is trapped there and cannot come back home because of the chaos going on in the country. But then we are happy that it's a bloodless coup. I mean, no one has died ever since the military took over. But it's so sad that I don't know what is wrong with her. I used to say this all the time. Something is wrong with Africa as a continent. I don't know why we don't learn from history. I mean, because all the coups we've seen in the past has done us nothing good. So why are we still doing that? Talk about other several coups that we've seen in the past years. Talk about Gabon, in 2023. Talk about Madagascar coup. Talk about Chad. All of these things. I don't think we've learned one single thing from all of this coup, honestly, and it's sad.
You see, it's a big challenge, and I think sometimes when we say Africa is not ripe, Africa is not ready, it's not a mistake. It's just the basic truth.
Yeah.
I mean, we are still at a phase where the US has a working committee on Africa. I mean, that says a lot of how small they think of us and how small we truly are. It's not about the shape and size on the map. It's about how much of the balls you have to actually do things the right way. And unfortunately, in Africa, I think we have not really gone to that space. We are too far away from getting it right, especially when it comes to democracy. And one of the challenges we have is I think there's no decorum in the whole system. The whole setup is messed up one way or the other. I mean, how do you go into an election and then two different people, announce themselves as winners, even
without INEC, even
when the electoral body has not made an announcement,
results.
And then there's a coup. I mean, we cannot say we have two warring factions right there now. I think we have three warring factions. The soldiers have said, look, we have had enough of you two. As the opposition party that is planning to come to power, you are doing too much, and of course the ruling party, we don't think you are capable of getting things done. Unfortunately, these are even in the presence of electoral observers. Of course, definitely there will be foreign observers too there, and the high-profile delegation of the likes of Jonathan, West African Elders Forum. I mean, that means that we have so many former head of states in that particular country as we speak who are actually trapped in there. They cannot leave.
They don't know whether their debt December will be.
They don't understand what will happen.
Honestly.
So the country right now is grounded because when there's a coup like that, I mean, it's a no-fly zone. Nobody moves in or out of the country. So Jonathan, our own Jonathan, is hooked up in one way or the other in that place. I mean, at the midst of the crossfire, there has to be. Well, it has been stated that there has been no gun fired as of now. It's a bloodless coup, and that for me is still a manageable situation. Will the military just hand over to whoever eventually wins? That's a big question. Don't forget that just like some other countries, neighboring countries to Nigeria, like Niger and Chad, it was said to be, oh, do not worry, just after a few months we'll hand over to you. Don't forget that Traore too also said the same thing. Burkina Faso, we have that in Gabon. There are so many countries, especially the Francophone countries. There's a lot going on in there. And what is the problem? That's one thing that needs to be studied. Because when you talk about coup in Africa right now, most of that have been happening in that particular section of Africa. So there's a lot going on in there that really needs to be investigated, and someone has to do something about it, especially the African Union and most definitely ECOWAS. So if that is sorted, then we will not have problems. But then I think foreign observers they should just let them go. Whatever it is you want to do with your country, at least no blood should be shed. and this should be nipped in the bud as soon as possible.
Honestly, and I think democracy has suffered so much, I mean, across Africa. That's why I'm tired of that definition of democracy. I think we need to review it, honestly.
It's a challenge.
Honestly, because, I mean, according to the military man that took over now, he said the politicians are plotting with drug laws to destabilize the country. That's one. He said the government attempted to manipulate the elections. That's two. He said the president was removed. He was arrested in his office. I think he's been placed on house arrest now as we speak. The electoral process is suspended. All land and maritime borders are closed. And of course, I don't know at one point, you know, these observers will be allowed to go back to their country. I don't know, maybe Jonathan, as we speak now, is already zeroing his mind to say, okay, maybe December might be, but I don't think he's going to get up to that. I'm just kidding, honestly. So I want to believe that those persons who will go back to their countries, you know, safely. And then this country, Guinea Bissau, we don't want, you know, something, you know, dire to happen. We are happy that, you know, no one has been shot yet, but then we want to believe that, I mean, necessary bodies will step in to ensure that, I mean, they nip this in the bud. We don't want it to escalate, you know, beyond normal. Right. But let's take a look at some of the comments that we have this morning, honestly.
Okay, I think Sasi Price says, what happened to Aden Goodluck? I mean, that's a question. And Omologo says, President Tinubu, please go and rescue our former President Jonathan. Yeah. Even though most of the supporters like military rule after losing last 2023 presidential election. Well, that's an opinion. Yeah,
and Gordon FTB saying, former President Jonathan is safe and sound. Yes, you know, we are standing on that. Benjamin Zoma is saying, why refer to a former president that way? Where is your honor? You see, that's another problem that we need to talk about. And Zaya, I think, is saying the same Guinea that gave Tinubu an international passport. That's the question. And then the person ended with, it's okay. The last comment, the book of James, he went there to try and broker peace, and the coup caught up with him. He will be brought back safely. And we hope that he's going to come back safely, and we do know that he's going to come back safely to us, and we pray for peace in Guinea Bissau. Definitely.
Well, that will be the convenient point to leave it on this show this morning. Join us again tomorrow on Daybreak Live Extra. It is always extra on Fridays, and we have a lot for you on tomorrow's edition. We do hope that you enjoyed this very well. Thank you for making us a part of your morning. Until tomorrow, that we shall be meeting again on this show. I say keep being good out there, keep being safe. Bye for now.
Program, just like I mentioned, join us tomorrow. My name is Oluwayemi Adelakun. Please ensure that you're safe at all times. Bye for now.